Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? Today I'm just going to be doing my makeup, which I have no right doing because I have nowhere to be, but that's never stopped me before, and probably filming a palette declutter afterwards. So I'm going to begin by moisturizing. I use Philosophy's Clear Days Ahead Acne Treatment Moisturizer, which is really great if you have acne prone skin. It's actually a whole resume. I had to think for a second. It comes with the face scrub, the face moisturizer, the treatment, and if you want the toner, they also have the acne treatment pads, which are really nice. And it's actually a very gentle, considering that it's a acne treatment resume. I'm going to continue by priming my eyes with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, which I actually don't like very much. I usually use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, and I really like that, but I thought I'd try something new when I ran out, because I find that if you buy the largest one, it tends to dry out. If you buy the smaller, sort of like sample-sized one, then that lasts you, and it won't dry out before you get to the end of it, basically. I hate that when it's gotten all gloopy and you can't use the rest of the product. Anyways, so, oops, sorry. So I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions today. I'm just going to do like a really simple smoky eye. I do have a mirror right here, which I will be looking into. So I am going to begin, let's see, with the Morphe E27, which is this really big fluffy brush, which I adore this one because it blends out really nicely. And I'm just going to be blending that into the crease really lightly. I'm using the middle shade. I don't think they have names. Nope, just the middle shade, I guess. I'm just going to blend that really delicately into the crease. Not paying any particular attention to where it's going, because you can always blend it out. I'm just gonna put a little bit more in. And then I'm just gonna take my finger. I really like using my fingers for metallic shades because you really get a lot of pigment on there. I'm just going to be taking this color right here and just smoothing that over the lid. Just really nice, even coat, just all over the lid. I hope you all have been well. I'm sorry I stayed away for so long. I had been really busy preparing to go to college and then deciding that I didn't want to go to college again for the third time in a row. But you know, third time's the charm. Now I'm just going to take that middle shade again on that Morphe E27 and just going over again, fluffing it out gently and blending the color on the lid with the color in the crease. Very nice. Now I personally wear glasses, so I'm kind of going in blind here, and also that helps because if you wear glasses, you don't have to pay any particular attention to where things go as long as you blend out well. People usually don't notice if you've made a mistake. So I'm just going to take this top left corner color, which is a dark chocolatey reddish brown, and I'm just going to gently flick that into the outer corner. Now I'm using a Morphe E18, which I think they refer to as a finger brush because it's sort of small and blunt like your finger. Now I really like this palette because you get 9 shades, you get mattes and metallics and just a glitter or two, which are super nice. I like to have a lot of variety if I'm gonna buy a palette. I don't want just metallics or just glitters, because if you don't have any mattes, it's hard to blend metallics together. And usually people don't like to put mattes like in the crease or on the background. I know that there's a name for the term. I'm forgetting it right now because I'm groggy. But although if you do like a lot of metallics, I know I have the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette, and it only has 1 or 2 mattes, but if you do like mattes, you can always use 2 palettes together if that's what you prefer. I know the Chocolate Gold palette is really nice, and it has really nice color payoff and blends very well. So then after I've fluffed that out, I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of fallout, but that's okay. For the palette price, it's actually really nice. Just if you want neutrals or pinks, I would say that this is a really nice autumn palette. Don't know if you can see the colors. But you have a few darker ones for your outer crease. You have some nice metallics to put on the lid. You have a white shade at the back for just blending out, which is what I'm going to do again. I'm going to take the same brush that I used in the crease, and I'm going to take some of that white color. I'm just going to blend it gently underneath the brow, just blending it out very, very gently. Very nice. I originally wasn't going to film today because I felt horrible, but then I realized that I did my eyebrows yesterday and they look really nice, and I hate to waste an opportunity. So now that I have done the lid, the outer corner, and blended at the top, I'm going to start with my foundation. So I use the Sephora 10 Hour Wear Perfection Foundation. It is oil-free. It has second skin technology. I don't know what that means, but I use it in number 4 Porcelain Clear, or light porcelain. This one is a medium coverage, buildable, dermatologically tested, non-cosmogenic, paraben-free, fragrance-free, formulated without mineral oil. Something I have noticed though about this foundation, I was looking at it, it has a 12-month shelf life, but it does not have the cruelty-free symbol. So if it's important to you that your products are cruelty-free, I would look into this one because I'm not 100% sure that it is. So I'm just going to take one pump and I'm just going to start to place it in random dots around my face. Usually just a few dots on my cheeks. I usually focus more on my T-zone because that's usually where I have problem areas. Now I always do my foundation after I do my eyeshadow, just in case I have any fallout. I would just want to be able to clear that up. I'm going to open my highlight and look in that mirror so I know that I'm blending properly. I find this is a really nice foundation, and it's not horribly expensive. I think it's $26 and you get 25 milliliters or 0.84 fluid ounces. Now I've tested out a lot of foundations, like I mean a lot. I've tested out the Fenty matte one. I've tested out Tarte. I tried out their water foundation. I've tested out Too Faced. I just find that this one sits on the skin really nicely and it doesn't look caked on. I hate it when a foundation settles in creases. Like I know I had a one from ColourPop. I think I still have it somewhere in the background actually. And it settled into the fine lines just in here and it really aged me. And my mother noticed it as well. And I said, well, what do you think about this? Do you think it makes me look older? Because I think that it's aging me. And she agreed with me. Okay, so that's blended nicely into the skin. I'm just using a wet beauty blender. I prefer to use beauty blenders to brushes just because I think the texture of my skin makes it look like I'm smearing things around. when I use brushes. It doesn't fluff it into your skin. My skin, like it does other people. But if you prefer to use a brush, that's perfectly fine. It all depends on what works best with your skin. I'm going to use the Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer in Fairest. So this is 12 months shelf life also, and it is 0.23 fluid ounces or 7.0 milliliters. I actually don't see the cruelty-free symbol on this one either. So I'm just going to put a little bit underneath my eyes. A little bit. I'm trying to cover these dark circles because I haven't been sleeping very well because I have had a fever. But I'm going to take my beauty blender and my highlighter, and I'm just going to blend that into the bottom of my eye. Now I like to do this before I do an inner corner color, just because usually it covers it up if I do the inner corner color and then the concealer. I'm just pressing it in. You don't have to be overly harsh. I find this one just really brightens my under eyes. It's a thicker consistency, but it's not like insanely thick. So I'm going to use an e.l.f. setting powder under my eyes. I'm just taking on a brush and just pressing it in. Just in like a, I think it's called a stippling motion. Because I find that if you drag with the powder while the under eye concealer is still wet, it tends to rub some of it off and smear it, which is not desirable. Now I'm just going to gently fluff off the excess. Very gentle. You don't want to pull the skin around your eyes, because if you get into a habit of doing that, when you get older, the elasticity of your eyes will let go and then you get eye wrinkles. So you just want to be really gentle. It's like when you're doing winged eyeliner, you don't want to pull your eye up, because over time that'll ruin the elasticity of your eyes. The collagen in there breaks down and then you get lines, you get sagging, and it's just really undesirable. So I use the e.l.f. HD loose powder. This one is in sheer. It does not have how much is in here on it, but I really like the e.l.f. powders, especially for setting. I know personally, if I don't put a powder under my eyes over my concealer, I get lines of concealer that sort of dripped down, and it gets oily and it's just a mess. So I'm going to put those aside and I'm going to move on to contour. I usually don't contour my face because I just find it takes a lot of time, but I thought, why not go full glam for this. I use the Sephora Shape and Sculpt and Highlight brush. So it's a double-ended brush. It's got this one flat part down here, which is sort of, don't know if you can see it. There we go. It's on an angle. And then we've got this rounded part. So this is actually for highlight, but I dip that into the bronzer. I'm using the Milk Chocolate Matte Too Faced Bronzer. It is 8 grams. 0.8 grams? And no, 8 grams and 0.28 fluid ounces. I am a very, very light skin tone, so I find this is actually really, really nice. I find people with fair skin tones, usually bronzer looks orangey on them, at least personally for me. So this one is more of a cool toned brown, so I find that it doesn't make you look orange at all if you have a fair skin tone. This was actually recommended to me by one of the lovely gentlemen at the Sephora in my hometown or city. So I just gently place it where I want it. So I just bring it down a little bit, just about to here. I don't want to really carve a line in. I find harsh lines don't look good on me. And then I'm going to take the flat end and just sort of fluff that in. Just really gentle up and down motions and then dragging upwards. You don't want to do just a line because that looks really, really harsh and unnatural. If you just bring it around, curve it around the apples of your cheeks, I find that it looks a lot more natural than just one line going down. So just gentle fluffing motions, dragging up. And if you ever put too much contour, too much highlight on your face, it looks really harsh, you don't know what to do, don't panic, don't wipe it off. Just take your beauty blender that has a little bit of foundation and just gently press in. It's not going to hide all of your contour, it's just going to tone it down a little bit so that it doesn't look like a giant brown line. That also works for cream contour. If you want to contour and you don't want it to look super harsh, you prefer cream contour, you contour your cheekbones first with the cream, you blend it out, and then you put your foundation on top of that, put a little bit of bronzer on, and it looks really natural but really sculpted. Okay, so next I'm going to use blush. Now my favorite blush is the Tarte Fairy Flush Amazonian 12-Hour Clay Blush. This was for the Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust collection. It's a really, really pretty soft pink. They've discontinued it now because of course they have. But I'm just going to gently fluff just a little bit. I don't really need a whole lot because I have a very high fever. Just want that hot plague patient look. Absolutely. Just really natural. Okay. I usually don't put blush all over my face because being as pale as I am, it just looks odd. Okie dokie, so I'm going to do highlight next. Now I also like the Tarte Amazonian Clay Highlighter in Exposed. That one is 5.6 grams or 0.20 fluid ounces. It's just a very, very light highlight. It's very pretty. It's not overly orange. And I am using a Tarte highlighting brush. They had a stained glass brush collection that I bought, and I only ever use this one. So I'm just going to drag that down very gently right here. I do apologize for the lighting. I'm working on getting a ring light, but right now in Canada it's very dreary, which is odd considering it's September. Usually it stays hot until the beginning of October, middle of October, but we've been having a really big cold spell. I've been told that we're going to have one heck of a winter. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze. Okay. So, I am going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Taupe, which is actually too light for me. I have dirty blonde level 6 hair, and for some reason I have black eyebrows. I'm dealing with it. If I were to use a eyebrow color that actually matches my eyebrows, I would look terrifying. So I use Taupe. I'm actually debating right now dyeing my hair like black, which if you notice right now my hair is white, so it'd be, you know, a change. A lot of people are saying, no, Chuck, don't do it. It's too big of a change. But nobody's ever been able to stop me from doing anything ever, so. I just feel like I have that gene where when somebody tells me not to do something, it makes me want to do it 10 times more. I feel like I get that from my grandmother. Okay, so I'm just gently filling in the brows. just really the balding places where I've overplucked. Because I was an overzealous 11-year-old with a unibrow. Okay, so I bought a set, which was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. It was a full size, and then it came with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Tint. So I also got that in taupe. So I'm just going to run that through the brows. It makes them look more full, keeps them in place. I don't like using clear brow gel. I feel like I look like Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town when I do that. God rest his soul. And that's just not my thing. So, there we go. Okay. So, we have done the brows. I unfortunately don't have any mascara at the moment. I've been stealing my mother's because I dropped my mascara and it snapped in half like a pretzel. So I'm going to be setting this. I use the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. It smells horrible, makes your face sticky, but I work retail and I sweat a lot, so if I don't use this, I look like a melted clown at the end of the day. Which, you know, I guess some people can rock that, but I'm just not into it. So I'm just gonna okay, now I have a fan that I got from the dollar store. I apologize, my voice is starting to go because I'm very sick. This is really nice. I'm very, very hot right now. I apologize. I'm also wearing a pajama shirt because I have not gotten dressed today. I was supposed to go out with my friend Cody. We had plans. I booked the day off, but then I got sick. And there went that. Okay, so I'm just going to do my lips now. Now I'm going to prep my lips with the Jeffree Star Velour Lip Scrub in the flavor Vanilla Mint. So this is 30 grams or 1 ounce. So it comes in a little pot. Don't know if you can see that. I actually can't tell if the camera is focusing in on the things I'm trying to show you because I don't have my glasses on or my contacts in. Sorry. So you just take a little bit on your finger and rub it together and lick it off. If I could, I would eat this stuff with a spoon. I would put it on chips like a monster, but it's expensive, so I don't do that. Having issues getting the lid on. That's better. Okay, so now I'm just going to put on Pumpkin Pie, which is the Jeffree Star Velour Liquid Lipstick in 0.19 fluid ounces and 5.6 milliliters. This is a very pretty rust color, rusty orange, and it's actually got a very subtle hot pink glitter in it, which is really nice. I actually didn't notice until I put it on. I got this for free during his back to school sale. It's actually a funny story. I'll tell you it after I do this. This isn't gonna look good. I'm just gonna put that out there now. Okay. Awesome. My nose is running, I apologize. But, right, this isn't gonna look good because my lips are extremely uneven because I was bitten by a dog and I have a scar running diagonally across my lips, which makes them skip, so it joins oddly. I need a tissue. I don't have a tissue. That's fine. Anyways, so this is the finished look. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna try and zoom you in closer. So the brows, the eye look, the pink metallic, and there's a little bit of dark on the outside, the lighter color blended into the crease, and then the white on the background. And that's just paired with the orange. I am working on getting a ring light. I asked for one for my birthday, but it was misunderstood, and I actually got ring lights, which was really funny at the time. So I'm going to end this video here, and the next video that comes out is going to be exactly the same outfit because I'm going to film it right after this, but I'm going to film the palette declutter and I'm going to turn on the lights. So anyways, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching me sniffle and do my makeup. And I will see you guys in a hot minute. So thank you.